Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's me, Gabe. Welcome back to another video. It's been about 3 years. You might be asking, where the hell have I been? What have I been up to? Uh, to say the least, life got in the way. And if you didn't know, I used to be a little cringe Fortnite, little YouTuber slash content creator slash streamer. Uh, to be honest, I did think I was going to go somewhere. And for a while, I was actually getting decent views and then I got my first job, and then I just couldn't stream, and I kind of got unmotivated to do it too. So life got in the way, but that's okay. Anyways, this video is going to be about me doing fucking shrooms for the first time. Yes, shrooms. Very common drug. You probably hear about it all the time from your friends, or maybe you even done it yourself. Uh, Before I even start with anything, I just want to say, disclaimer: do not do anything. Do not do this drug. Don't do any drugs. If you already do drugs, stop doing them. I can't stop you even if you don't stop. But drugs are not cool. They are not something to play around with, and they will kill you. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get started. So it's actually crazy. I know exactly when this story happened, and it actually happened April 5th, 2022. It's fucking crazy to think that that's almost 2 years ago. Anyways, I remember waking up this day about like 1 in the afternoon, and I remember going downstairs, and me and my boys have this Discord server that we basically use as a giant group chat, even though it's fucking public. But we use it as a group chat. So I remember hopping on Discord, hitting up my boy Adam and being like, yo, can I come over? Can we do I don't know what made me like want to do shrooms this day. I'm pretty sure we had it planned for like a couple months or maybe even that month. And eventually we're like, fuck it, we're just going to do it this day. So I get to talking to him and he's basically like, yeah, you want to come over? You can come over. So I tell my mom and I ask her, can you drive me over there? And she's like, oh yeah. So shout out to my mom for that. But he lives like 20, 30 minutes away from me. So shout out to my mom for that because that's a long fucking drive. But, she drives me all the way there. And it's actually crazy to think, but I don't know how this happened. But the street that Adam lives on is actually the street that my mom grew up on, which is insane. So they get to talking about that. And then, after they get done talking, we're like, bye. We say bye to her. And then we get in the car. And Adam lives next to the smoke shop that doesn't card people. I don't think that they still do that, but at the time they didn't card anybody, to my knowledge, at least from what I remember him saying. So we went over there, and I remember he bought me a pipe. Shout out to him for that. And I'm assuming he bought some weed or some shit like that. And then we hop back in the car, and then we go over to this gas station. Now at this gas station, this dude that Adam knows sells shrooms and little candy bars, and I'm pretty sure some other shit too. And I'm assuming they just met and like hit it off and exchanged numbers and all that, like every other fucking person. But we go over there, we buy the shrooms, and then we're like, yeah, let's go smoke. So we go in this little like alley slash like parking lot type thing, and we go smoke. And eventually, we hit up our boy Michael. Michael is a good friend of Adam's. I would say we're pretty good friends, but like Adam and Michael have known each other since they were little kids, and by this point, I only knew Adam for like a year. But don't get it fucking twisted. This dude is like the greatest, one of the top fucking best human beings to ever live. Shout out to Adam. But so we get to talking to him, and then we're like, fuck it, we'll slide over to Michael's house and go and pick him up. So we go over to Michael's house, and we get to smoke, and we kick it for a little bit, and then we just decide that we want to go to the park and finally take these shrooms. So we get back in the car, we go to this little park that I think Adam and Michael live by. So we go to the park, and we park, and then we take out the shrooms, and I realize that they're little like candy bars. So like me being the hard ass and me being like tough guy me, like cool guy me, and my first time doing it, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna take the entire fucking bar, I'm gonna eat the whole entire bar, I'm gonna down the entire bar like a fucking idiot. So that's exactly what I do. And I'm pretty sure those two, I'm pretty sure they split like one, or maybe he had three. I don't remember, but they didn't eat the entire thing. Let's just put it like that. I ate the entire thing, like the dumbass that I am, wanting to be like so fucking cool. So after that, you know, we get out the car. We finally decide, you know what, fuck it, let's go take a walk, because there's this like little path that you can go that this park has. I don't remember exactly, but it's like a little fucking trail. So I remember right before we get on the trail, Michael had to go to the bathroom. So we go over to the bathrooms, and I remember standing there waiting for Michael to come out. And then Boom, it fucking hit me. I got fucking winded, dude. Okay, so it's the craziest fucking shit. Like, my experience was just so fucking stupidly bad, and I'm gonna tell you exactly like why. It's fucking crazy, and I'm gonna sound like such a fucking bitch because I'll admit it. I am a bitch. Whenever it comes to drugs, yeah, I am a fucking bitch. I'll admit it. I'll say it right here. But basically, Michael goes into the bathroom, and me and Adam are just waiting. And then eventually he comes out the bathroom, and then it hit me. Whenever I say that the wind, like, okay, so this day it was pretty windy. Not pretty windy. It was a little bit windy. And as soon as he comes out the fucking bathroom, I just get this fucking explosion like in my head. I don't know how to describe it, but like whenever the wind was blowing, I felt like I was being taken by the wind. And that's when I knew that it hit me. It hit me right fucking there. So I feel like I'm being taken by the wind and I start freaking the fuck out. And I don't really usually show like when I'm starting to freak out, but eventually I do and I'll get to that. But eventually, he comes out the bathroom, I'm starting to feel this way, and then we go onto the trail and we start walking. And then it just progressively gets fucking worse and worse. Whenever I'm like high or just like awesome kind of drug, my anxiety, like I don't usually have anxiety. Like there's very like rare times when I'm really anxious at all. But whenever I'm on drugs and off of weed or just high in general, my anxiety hits an all-time fucking high. Like it is the worst feeling in the fucking world. So whenever I'm high and we're on this fucking trail, my anxiety is through the fucking roof. And if you've ever seen like movies where the people are like high off of like shrooms or just Molly, you would think of it as like, shit like being hella blurry and fucking floating around in like different colors. Yeah, that's the type of shit I was seeing. Like things were fucking moving. I felt like I was fucking drunk. Like I was seeing like shit moving in different colors and shit being wavy and all that. Like I don't even know how to, exactly to explain it. But like meanwhile they're in front of me talking to each other and I'm in the fucking back just having a panic attack. Like I'm not showing it because whenever I'm high, I don't usually like to show things like that because I don't want other people to worry. And so I just keep going, and we keep walking, and it progressively gets worse and worse and worse, and I don't remember exactly everything because there's times where I just felt like I blacked out or I just don't remember at all. But it gets worse and worse and worse. We keep walking. And I remember this is the funniest fucking shit ever. I remember Adam or Michael like asking me how I was doing. And I remember being like, yo, this shit makes me appreciate life more. And I don't know where the fuck that came from. Like, I don't know what kind of like mindset I was having exactly at the time, but like I guess I felt like some like I just felt free, I guess. Like I don't even know how to explain it because I don't remember exactly like how I was feeling, but I remember that quote because it was just so funny to think about afterwards. But we keep walking. I remember my mom texting me and asking me if I was okay, and I remember typing and like, bro, I couldn't even like fucking type on the phone, bro. Like I was that fucked up. Like I just like I was able to send the message like eventually, but it took me like a long fucking time to type all that shit. And eventually we get off this path and we're walking like straight to go back to the parking lot to go back to the car. And I remember there was this dad and his kid that were behind us, and I looked behind me because I was hearing sounds, and I fucking like whenever I look behind me I see the kid, I start hyper focusing on the fucking dude and the kid. Like what I mean by that is like I was like focused on them and not being able to see anything else but them. So I was only seeing them, and then they eventually like went past me and I was like, what the fuck was that? So after all that, we eventually get to the car, and I sit down and I'm like, bro, I cannot fucking do this. I start flipping the fuck out. Like I'm telling them like I cannot walk anymore. I cannot do any of this other shit no more. Like I'm done. I cannot do this. So I start flipping the fuck out. I start like I don't even know. I was just sitting there, just like I wasn't hyperventilating, but I was fucking terrified because I hate being high. So eventually, I don't know how this came to be, but I was like, fuck, dude, I can't do this. I think I gotta go home. So shout out to fucking Michael being the MVP, the fucking greatest to ever do it. Shout out to him. Eventually, he's like, fuck it. You want to go home? We obviously can't drive you, so I'll get you a lift. So shout out to him because this lift was probably like 30 to 40 fucking dollars because like I said in the beginning, I live about like 20, 30 minutes away. So shout out to him for this shit. I never was able to pay him back, and I don't think I mean, I probably eventually will, like sometime in the future, because he doesn't live here anymore. He actually moved to Utah, from what I heard from Adam like a few weeks ago. That was a big surprise. I actually didn't know that, and that actually kind of sucks because I actually missed it. But he calls me a lift like the fucking champ that he is, and I'm like, thank you. I don't remember exactly, but I remember that lift getting there, and I was like, fuck this shit. I'll see you guys later. So I get in that lift, and bro, I can't fucking imagine like what that dude was thinking, like what I even look like. Bro, I can't fucking imagine like seeing me. Like, thank God, like he didn't talk to me or anything. Like he was one of those Lyft drivers or like Uber drivers where you kind of get in the car and they don't say anything, they just drive. Thank God, because if he did talk to me, I was not gonna be able to fucking talk back. So I remember getting in the car, and then, you know, eventually we started driving, and I blacked the fuck out. Like, eventually, I just blacked out, and I remember waking up, and we were on the highway because before we were, getting out of the park, and then I blacked out, and then we're on the highway, and then I black out again, and then I wake up, and we're almost to my house. And then my mom was texting me, or no, she didn't text me. I texted her. I was like, I'm on the way home. She asked me like if I need a ride or anything like that, and I can't even fucking barely text because I can't type because I'm so fucking out of this world. I'm fucking gone. And eventually, we get to my house and I get out of the car, and I can't fucking imagine what this dude was thinking because as soon as I get out of the car, it looks like I'm fucking drunk. Like it literally, I couldn't walk. Like every time I even fucking walked, I was like wobbling side to side. Eventually, I get to the door and I open it up. Oh my god, the worst fucking timing of all time. I walk in my house, and the first thing I see is both of my parents sitting at the kitchen table looking straight at me. And my fucking god, I just fessed up. Like they asked me like what did I do? What am I on? Because I obviously walked in like I was fucking drunk. So there was no getting out of this. So I was just like honest with them. I was like, yeah, I did shrooms. And then they were fucking pissed at me, like obviously, like normal parents would be. And they're like, you know what, go to bed. And I get the fuck upstairs and I lay there and I sat there for like 10, 20 minutes just sitting there, and I was like, bro, that shit was the craziest thing ever. And eventually, like after 10, 20 minutes of laying down, I was like, I was fine, I was back to normal. And the thing that sucks is that I wish I would have waited it out because from what I heard, my boys were still high, and somehow when I got to my house, I was not high anymore. Like after I started laying down, I don't know what the fuck, like how that even happened, but I remember my boys. From what I heard later in the night or the next day, from Adam, I heard they were high for like basically almost the entire night, and kind of sucks because like I don't know how that works. Whenever I took the whole fucking bar, or yeah, no, the whole candy bar, and they only took half. I was very confused by that. I don't know how the fuck that worked. Like, I don't know if that had to do with something like with me laying down or what. But yeah, I was kind of like bummed out about that because they did some other shit after. And like, as soon as I get home, like, I'm not high anymore. Like, after I lay down for 10 to 20 minutes, like, that's some dumb shit. But yeah. Uh, so later in the week, my mom kind of like fucking holds it against me, and she just fucking yells at me. She wasn't really like, she was mad, but like, what is she gonna do? Like, it happened, it happened. She was fucking pissed. She was pissed at Adam. She said that I couldn't hang out with him, and that was fair, completely fair actually. Eventually, we did hang out again, and you know, it sucks. I had to get yelled at for like the next like 2 to 3 weeks, and she held it against me, and that's completely fair. But at the same time, I didn't really give a fuck, to be honest. And that's just how it is. But that's basically where that story ends. fucking, I don't know why. I just wanted to share this because, you know, it's kind of like one of those stories that like I like saying and that's implanted into my brain. And that'll probably never leave my head because it was definitely an experience and it was not a fun one for me at least. That was my first time doing shrooms, and ever since I've never really did anything hardcore again except for like prescription pills. And those are another thing. 2022 was kind of like my year for drugs, like in terms of like trying them. I mean, I didn't try that many, but like it was the first time that I really tried trying them. Before that, it was kind of just weed, and that was really it. I always kind of like wanted to pop like Percocets, and I thought about doing like shrooms before, but I never like had the chance or opportunity to do so because I don't know anybody that does like drugs like that besides Adam. And you know, the opportunity arose, and I took it. And I mean, in a way, it was an experience, so I don't regret it. But at the same time, it left me fucking scarred because now I'm a little bitch that doesn't really want to do anything else. And eventually, I think I will. Eventually, I'll get to that point. But my experience was just like so fucking terrible to the point where like I don't want to do any drugs for a long, long time. And eventually, it'll happen. But you know, life goes on. Anyway, but yeah, that was the end of that. That was my story. I don't really have anything else to share, so like I don't know what else I'm gonna post on this channel. Maybe I'll think of something, maybe some other story. But yeah, um, that was the first time me doing the shrooms, and it was cool. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to Michael. You know, my boys, MVPs for sure. I'm pretty sure Adam's watching this video. He knows who he is. Anyway, so that's it for that. Hope you guys enjoyed. You know, I'll eventually maybe do some more videos. Who knows? I guess we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day slash night, whatever the fuck, wherever you are. You know, just enjoy it. Love everyone. Spread love and positivity, and yeah, just continue being awesome. Continue being you. I'll see you guys.